Hello and good morning, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Thibeaut Formesyn. I am a former GIS consultant. I used to work in a Belgium GIS company, but now today I work as a geography teacher in Sint-Lodewijkscollege College in Bruges in Belgium. And we are one of the participants in this Gis-T Erasmus Plus project. We were the latest partner to join this project, actually, but we have a long tradition in St. Louis College concerning international projects about science, literature, social science, etc. So it's not new for us, something like this, an international Erasmus Plus project. As a geography teacher, I think it's very important that we find new ways, new innovative ways to teach about climate change. And since I have been a GIS consultant for some years, I found this project very interesting. This way I can combine the two, teaching about geography, climate change, and teaching about GIS or using GIS in the classroom. And throughout these 2 years that we were involved in this project, we were able to manage to create a course and some case studies about how teachers can use GIS in their classroom when it's about climate change. So this is not a GIS course necessarily. This is more a course how to teach with GIS, specifically on climate change. We have made some case studies. I will show you in a minute just one of these case studies. There are many ways you can use GIS to teach about climate change. Many tools you can use. We try to focus on ArcGIS, but ArcGIS has many tools, as you probably know, concerning web maps, web applications, story maps, dashboards, etc. So many ways you can use for your class, and I believe that's very nice because you can also differentiate depending on the age of your students, depending on their knowledge, depending on their technical skills. That way you can choose what application or what lesson plan might actually be the best for you. But let me just show you around one of these case studies. So one of the case studies that I made is perhaps a typical case study when you think about climate change, but it's about a subject that perhaps will trigger some students. It's about wine production in Europe and how climate change will affect this wine production. For this case study, I created a story map, and the advantage of a story map is that students can perform this task individually or in small groups. You can choose to go through the case study with students themselves, or they can do it in a small group. And that way you have many possibilities for your lesson. As you can see here, there are some tasks that students have to perform. They have to read some things, but also, of course, look at some web maps. The first task they have to do is check out what are the ideal conditions for wine grape production. It has to do with temperature, sunlight, precipitation, soil, location, etc. The second task that they have to do is check how will climate change affect this wine production. And for that, I use a certain GIS web map about wine production. And here you can find the different wine regions in Europe. And when you enter the climate mode, you have the possibility to check one of these regions. For example, if you go to the southern part of France and we click here on Côte du Rhône, we can see the vulnerability index about this wine region. They have very different variables that they have measured: exposure, sensitivity, and also the adaptive capacity. Perhaps wine farmers can take some measures in which they can use different grapes, or perhaps take extra measures against climate change. But this is of course not possible in every wine region in Europe. This way they can compare different wine regions and see that certain parts in Europe have perhaps more problems, like Spain or Italy, and perhaps the more northern parts are perhaps better for wine production in the future. So it's rather a small case study. Now for a teacher, you can always check out these lesson plans. And we have made lesson plans for every case study. That way, as a teacher, you can see, okay, what are the main goals of this case study? What are the resources that we have used? The hyperlinks you can always find here, of course. And last, you have every step. This is rather small case study, perhaps. It's very clear, actually, the story map, how to use it. But for other case studies, you will find, of course, more detailed case study. So in this way, teachers and students know how to use this case study.